What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is BC. What's going on? Happy Friday. Hopefully you're all having a good day. I know I had a fantastic week. Life is good. Rolling into the weekend. I got my Joker suit on, my jacket. I got these new circular blue blockers, which I really like because, I got to be styling even when I'm rocking the blue blockers, right? A couple quick housekeeping things. I appreciate the support, y'all. The channel's growing. We're right at the cusp of getting the super chat monetization. And then I think within the next 30 days, we will be back to being fully monetized like the previous channel. And then from there, I know the growth is going to be explosive because when you're monetized, they push your content more, and rightly so, because they make money. Social media workshop, 29th, 30th, 31st of January. I'm doing a 3-day social media workshop for specifically real estate and sales, but also personal branding, right? I've added the link below. It's on YouTube. It's on my Facebook. It's on my Instagram and the link in the bio. Make sure you guys sign up for that. It's going to be 3 days intensive. It's going to be really cool. And I'm going to package that up later and probably sell it as a product. But the challenges are always a lot cheaper. And they're really cool, right? Because they're interactive. I do trainings every day and they're really fun. Everything else is in the description. All right, let's start. Dark times create the best you. When I look just recently in my career, the last 10 years of my life, and I'm almost hitting 40 years old, y'all. The last 10 years of my life, the darkest, hardest, most difficult times I look back on now, either that is getting emotionally beat up, right? Maybe even physically just beat down from all the work, being in fucking tears, being betrayed by people, having real big ups and downs in business, especially the downs, clients canceling on you, so on and so forth. When I look back, I'm extremely grateful that all of those things happened. And if they had not happened, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. Now, the average person, what do? They hit a wall, they hit adversity, a challenge, they quit. Those are required, y'all. Those are required for you to have top tier success and development and growth, not only financially, but also spiritually, emotionally, right? For yourself. Let's talk about a quick story. For those of you who have been following me for more than 4 or 5 years, maybe you've been around since day one, right? If you know some day oneers that are still out there that, haven't gotten my new Facebook profile and YouTube, send it to them, right? Show me some love. But if you've been around, you've heard me give specific stories and scenarios about my first couple of years in business, particularly my first year, okay? The first 12 months that I was in real estate. And this is tough to admit, right? But I broke down in tears 3 times my first year in real estate, 3 fucking times. And this is from a dude who is secure in his emotions, but I'm not fucking bawling my eyes out every day, right? Like prior to that, I remember like crying at funerals, right? My grandma's funeral, if a friend passed away or something like that, right? Like tragic ass situations, I would cry, of course. But I'm not the type that's going to be bawling every day or cut my finger and cry, or, someone betrays me and I cry. Like, no, it has to be some serious shit for me to really cry, right? 3 times in a year. Now, I'm a man's man. I'm a very masculine man, and I always have been, right? It's tough sometimes to admit that type of shit because people try to poke at you, but looking back on it, right? That was the right thing to do in the moment. Now, I didn't go on Instagram Live and Facebook and YouTube and cry. I had my little private moment of crying. Why? Because at the time, anger, frustration, self-doubt, all the stuff that people deal with all the time. So I let the tears flow. Then what did I do? Before we even continue, I wiped them off and I kept going. I didn't keep myself in that fucking pit, that internal pit of hell that people leave themselves in. That perpetual type of sadness and apathy. And all that is the breeding grounds for, putting yourself into depression because you dwell on it and you want to stay in it. It's no different than, imagine an angry person who stays angry forever. You're going to be like, what the hell? After a while, the anger has to subside at some point. At some point, it goes from being angry to forcing the anger. And that's what people do with a lot of these things, right? So 3 times, right? And looking back on it, I'm glad I went through that. I'm glad I was put in a position where I was so beat up mentally that I felt no other recourse but to cry. Because after that, I said, okay, I let the tears out. I wiped them off. Now it's not over. It has just begun. I'm faced with a decision now. Stop and go back to what I was doing, or continue along this road with all the decisions and thoughts and desires that I had originally, the business plan, the commitment to get in the business, all that enthusiasm, right? You know, the grand dreams and aspirations of being this great person and developing. Am I going to throw that all away just because I broke down in tears and I'm feeling a little pressure? By the way, pressure that I knew I would feel. And if you've been around me for a while and listening to me, and you're we can say involved in anything like entrepreneurial or anything that pushes you physically, mentally, and emotionally and spiritually, you've heard me talk about it all the time. You will hit your, in quotes, original breaking point. Everybody does. It's a necessary part of that recipe for success. Not to say that everybody's going to be bawling their eyes out, but you're going to hit some pretty fucking frustrating times, man. If you haven't, you will. Don't worry. It's coming. Be prepared for it. And when it comes, take it with grace and take it in stride. Take your moment, dust yourself off, and then keep going. But looking back on that, that built so much internal fortitude. You know why? Having made it through that, I said, man, I'm a tough ass motherfucker. I really am. I'm tough. I'm tough. I made it through that. I had every excuse in the book in those moments to quit. And everybody would have been like, you tried, man. Good job. But I didn't. I kept at it. I had everybody else saying it's okay if you quit or you stop. Believe me, every justifiable excuse was there, but I didn't give in. I refused to give in. So now looking forward, right? I've passed those tests. I've become tougher. I've dealt with a lot of the rejection, right? And I'm just giving you guys a few little snippets of little moments my first year as a business owner in real estate from 2013, almost 11 years now. It's been 10 and a half years that I've been in the game. There was moments as well, aside from that, where I would be told on the phone, go fuck yourself. You're the worst salesman ever. I mean, people would just go out of their way to dig at you. Same thing at the door. I've been threatened with guns, knives, right? I've been told I'm a piece of shit, get a real job, you're a loser, blah, blah, blah. I've heard it all. And it's not easy to willingly step into the lion's den like that. But you come out of the other side of that when you see it through, a different caliber individual, which is why I can walk around in the world and know I am. Because listen to this statement. I'm not saying I'm born better than anybody or I should just be better than anybody. But those moments and what I've put myself through from a development standpoint and skill standpoint makes me better than other people in those areas. I can say that. I've done things that you're unwilling to do. I've grown in areas that you haven't grown. I'm better. I'm not going to sit here and say we're all the same. We all have the same rights. We're great people, right? We're human beings. I get it. But from a skill standpoint, personal development standpoint, communication standpoint, I can't say I'm the same. No, better. That's why I'm worth more and I get paid more. But even saying that has become, you can't say that in society. You're offending people. It's the truth. It's the truth. Sorry. Right? But see, when you flip the script and you go at it from the customer standpoint, that's the person they want. Put yourself in the client's shoes. They want the person who's been through the ringer, who's been through the tough times and the good times. Because then, man, this dude's, he's resilient. He's tough. He's good. He's confident. That's the person I want. He's going to stand by me. If he can make it through the mud, man, then doing this is going to be easy. It gives them more confidence if they knew that, right? If they could just have a conversation with you and then real quick, right? Almost like the Matrix, they have another screen next to you talking about all the stuff you've gone through, all the hardships, right? And all the things you've done before you met them. That would be cool. Because then you could wear that shit pridefully. You can wear it proudly. Because that's the thing with this is when you make it through these dark times, and we'll keep going through different scenarios, right? You have to wear that shit like a badge of honor. The fact that I've knocked on over 100,000 residential doors and made hundreds of thousands of, phone calls, sales phone calls. I'm in a category that very few people are. And I wear that shit proudly. My effort put me there, right? Because let's talk about that. That's simply effort. That's not talent. That's not privilege and all the other bullshit they talk about today in the media. That's effort. I outworked everybody. Period. I wasn't stronger, faster, better, had the hookup, had the network. No, I just put myself in those positions. I was willing to be told to go fuck myself more than them, willing to get rejected more than them, right? Willing to knock on the next door more than them and do it day in and day out, 5, 6, 7 days out of the week with no rest. I was willing to do more. When I started out, right, it was 6, 7 days a week. If I ever took a day off, it was like a half a day off. Why? I wanted to get ahead. And I knew, hey, if I put in more work now, I get ahead. When I create a lead in front of other people, eventually that lead gets so big, they'll never catch up. And that needs to be your mentality when it comes to like these skills and certain aspects of business. Eventually, they'll never catch up because you create such a gap between you and other people. And it's a beautiful position to be in. You want security, it's in that. And it's an extreme effort to reach a category, right? And again, I'm not saying in every category I'm the best. I'm not saying that. Let's be clear here, because a lot of people twist my words. I'm saying in the endeavors that you want to pursue and what they require to get to the top or near the top or to be at the table with the people at the top. What's required, and are you willing to put that in? Because it's going to take time. Because then you become more realistic mentally about it. Like understanding you're going to have to make it through dark times and go at it for years, right? I think the internet and social media has made people delusional, especially like in my industry in real estate and sales. Like a lot of people come in and then they're bummed out that in a month or two they're not making a lot of money. It's like, bro, you really thought it was going to be that easy? You got to be kidding me. I mean, even if you're a student of mine, you're not going to be successful in 2 or 3 weeks, bro. Like, come on. Right? Which is why I've done my best through my platforms over the years to be so raw and honest and transparent with people. Like, yo, this shit is hard. I've made videos about why I almost quit and, all this stuff. Like, man, it's tough. So just because, I'm passing the torch to you doesn't mean it's suddenly going to be easier for you. And 3 years of work for me is going to be 2 months for you. I can maybe help you shorten that gap a bit, but shit. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have to literally go through what I went through. Are you willing to do that? And a lot of people aren't. They think because they learn from somebody or coach with them, I don't have to go. Yes, you still have to go through it. You're just going to have more help and guidance throughout the way, and you're going to learn quicker. That's the benefit of it. But you still got to go through it, bro. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Why? You will not be built and forged to be me or better than me. Because the whole thing is, I want people to be better than me. I want to sit back at the accomplishments of my students, like that reel I posted today on Instagram and Facebook of them killing it the first 2 weeks. A lot of my students, I was like, they in 2 weeks already closed 3 houses, right? 6 pending, like all these big numbers. Fantastic. I want them to be better than me. I want them to lead the way eventually. I want to be a lion amongst other lions. Fantastic. That's what I want. That's why I pour so much into everything. That's my genuine desire for them because they've stepped up. They've raised their hand. They've joined, my tribe and my community. Fuck yeah, let's go. Let's work. I'm going to keep pushing because I'm right there with you in the trenches, hustling. Let's go. And to see the numbers they're putting up fucking puts a smile on my face. And I sleep like a baby at night knowing that shit. And I'm going to push them to do more. I just did a live on Instagram right before I came on here with Alden for 10 minutes talking about him. He's in the real estate game. He's already taken 4 listings this year. 4 in 2 weeks. Last year, the average agent, half of them didn't even sell a property. 50%, 49% sold 1 home. He's taken 4 listings in 2 fucking weeks. That's a listing every other day, basically, or every third day. That's insane. But when you follow him and you listen to him and you see what he does, okay, his life, his lifestyle, his work ethic, his thought process, the way he communicates and carries himself is indicative of and equals 4 listings in 2 weeks as a real estate agent. Boom. Now, he's made it through some dark times too, right? He's worked with me on the back end on my online stuff, and we've had a lot of private conversations, and it wasn't easy for him. Nor was it easy for me, nor will it be easy for you. But he pushed through. I push through. Will you push through? You're going to hit the moments where even if things are okay, hey, what if I did this? Well, what if I quit? You're still going to say that. Why? Because we're human beings and your mind is wired for survival. It's going to doubt all the time. It's in your fucking DNA, dude. Now, the beauty is you're not your DNA. You have a higher intelligence as a human being, and you can understand that for what it is. Just like if you're listening to this and you're a man, you probably get scared talking to people, especially pretty girls in public. That's a wired response in your DNA. That doesn't mean you need to succumb to it. I always want to take a more cerebral approach to the world. Cerebral approach to the world, whether that be sales training, how you present yourself, speaking, your business, everything. What got me through those tough times was this. The caveman in me, my flesh suit, my body, my emotions. Oh man, this is hard. Fuck this. This. Exercising and building this is what allowed me to get through. Upgrading my communication. Boom. All right. Change the self-talk. Change the image. Upgrade self-esteem. Change the environment. Change the people around it, right? Tough times. Okay. Tough time is required to grow. Go through it. Face it head on. Boom. You grow. You evolve, right? Yo, finally made it to a live. Bryce, what's up, man? Good to see you. Duramax Diesel, never give up. I agree, brother. What's up? Keep up the good work, bro. Appreciate it, Bryce. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. Seth joined us, right? I've been on one other coaching program. Nothing wrong with it, but your communication principles and trainings are unparalleled, and I look forward to seeing what's to come. Hell yeah, Seth. Awesome, bro. Good to see you, brother. Right? I think I shared the screenshot of his new upgraded business plan after going through the masterclass. The man is taking action. So he's an example of somebody who's coming in and doing the work, and who you will likely see here being interviewed on my podcast or my YouTube platform very soon because of the success that he's having. Why? He's plugged in and he's committed himself. Fantastic, bro. Good for you. The dark times create the best you. Now, why is it tough for people to face this head on? Because it doesn't feel good. We know logically, of course, push another rep in the gym. Follow the diet, deal with a little bit of hunger to get the better physique, right? Push yourself when you're running, right? A little bit beyond what you think is your limit. It's always a little bit more, but that shit never feels good. It doesn't. Yet we know from a mechanical standpoint how the world works. That's exactly what we need to do to get the result. Which is why we need to start living. You hear this saying, lower self, higher self. Higher self is simply this. Using your brain instead of your balls, right? Or your gut feeling. Your gut feeling, what does it tell you? Stop. This doesn't feel good. Your brain is going to say, it doesn't feel good, but we can keep pushing if we want to get better. Well, there you go. Use your higher self. Now, as you become a little bit more aware and conscious as a human being, and you develop your emotional intelligence, you become more mature, and you become a little bit more grounded as a human being beyond the carnal stuff. Like you're not so easily manipulated, right? Especially as a man, you get your passion and your sexual drive. It's not that it goes away, but you get it under control and stuff like that. This becomes easier because then you don't act on impulse. Then it's a little easier for you to start using your brain. But we need to work to get there. You need better examples around you. You need to raise the standard for yourself in your everyday life, because this is it. You need to accept. I'm going to say this to you. You need to accept the label, however it comes, of not being normal. I'm called crazy, told I'm on drugs. I hear it all, y'all. I hear it all, right? But I accept those labels. Well, not that I'm on drugs, because I'm not, but the whole crazy thing, right? I accept that. Why? Because for me to willingly get rejected all the time and push myself to that limit, the average person isn't going to do it and views it as crazy. So yes, by their estimation and description, yes, I'm fucking crazy. It's not normal to be obsessed with improving your communication and getting on a stage and rocking the shit and being a social fucking superstar. That's not normal. If I want to do that, then great. Call me fucking crazy. It's not normal to want to come on YouTube and just share your thoughts and do what I do and help people and talk this and that and right and face backlash. That's not normal. It's okay. I want it. Call me crazy. What I did and what I continue to do is not the path of the normal person, nor is my lifestyle, my thought process, or anything like that. Good. I wear it proudly. I don't try to fight it. I don't care. That's how you face dark times, with a smile on your face and willingly, meaning you step into it. I know I'm about to get in the cage with a bull. Fuck it. Let's go. Because this is exactly what I need to do. I need to be the matador and control this bull. No problem. Is it risky? Of course. Now, with what I'm referring to, it's not risking your life, unlike a matador, right? But you understand the point. Will you be the matador? Because it takes balls and training and dedication to be that matador for your life in these areas. For everybody, it's different. For everybody's different, right? But you will have to hit these big areas, right? Health, wealth, relationships. Like, this is all important. This is of utmost importance. And where you don't prioritize the right things, it shows up later. You don't want to be the person who makes money and who's miserable. You don't want to be the person who seems happy on the outside, but you're broke and you can barely put food on the table. You don't want to be decently fulfilled making money, but then you're horrible with relationships and you get manipulated by the opposite sex, or you can't attract them. Like, all the scenarios I just gave suck. You want to be proficient in every category. Happy, right? Financially at least stable and good, and do what you want and have choice with the opposite sex, because that's what it's about. I don't give a shit how people want to do their relationships and what their standards are. You do you. I don't care. But at least be in the position of choice. And in all those categories, I'm good. Now, it's taken time to get there, and a lot of heartache and a lot of sweat and tears and blood and hard work, but we got there. Now my standards are set. I put in the work. I continue to get better, and all those categories just keep going. Whoop. And I've had dark times in each area. And I continue to face adversity and challenges. Good. That's the catalyst for growth. If every day life is soft and cushy for you and you're not pushing yourself physically and doing the things that you don't want to do, man, because a lot of times it's the things you don't want to do. You think I wake up every day wanting to work out? Like, God, I did weighted calisthenics today. That shit fucking tears you apart. It is hard, especially as a fucking 200-pound man that's almost 40 years old. That shit is not easy, all the fucking handstands and all that. And I got people that are 10, 15 years younger like, wow, what the fuck? Because I push myself more. And when you bitch and complain, I fucking do it. You think I wake up every day, even though most of the time I do, wanting to read and be so disciplined? It's easier to not be disciplined, dude, but I wake up and I do it every fucking day. Right? Recently, I started doing the Stairmaster again just to get that extreme fucking, type of cardio in, because I've been running and doing other stuff, but I'm not playing basketball at the level that I used to, right? So now I'm doing like 15, 20 minutes hard on the Stairmaster, right? If you've ever been on a Stairmaster, I put it like on 10 or 11 is my normal pace. Then every minute and a half or 2 minutes for 30 seconds, I bump it up to 14 or 15. So I'm just doom, 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 doom. And I do that for 15 or 20 minutes. I get 1,000 steps in like 11 minutes, but I keep going. That's how fast I'm doing it. That shit is not comfortable. It burns. It sucks, but I keep doing it. And it's no different in the non-physical disciplines, right? Spiritual disciplines, waking up early, sun gazing, right? Doing my little meditation, right? Burning the incense, making sure I do my little cleaning routine in my home to keep it tidy, right? Living an ordered, structured fucking life is not easy, but it's worth it. And dark times even come in that, because my personal development, and you will hit a point in yours too, where you have to face a lot of things you don't like about yourself. Because that's dark too, to say, hey, I suck at this, or hey, I'm an addict with alcohol, or whatever it is that your problem is. Hey, I'm addicted to gambling, right? And admitting it to yourself and the world, and then doing something about it. That's tough. That is facing dark times. Or to admit, hey, I've wasted the last fucking 10 years. I need to do something. That's a tough conversation to have in admittance, even for yourself, even if you don't voice it to the world. Are you willing to do that though? Because I'm not down with mediocre and average, man. And I want to push people to get better. And I will do that. If a friend of mine refuses for even a moment to call that out, I'll call it out and I'll help them. And we'll build each other up. That's what I'm talking about. because you have to demand excellence from yourself. Why? No one else is going to demand excellence from you. And even if they do, if you don't demand excellence from yourself, nothing's going to happen. It needs to be your standard. Your standard needs to be, I face dark times and challenges head on. When the bully shows up, I whoop his ass because I step up. I don't run away. When I need to speak up, I do every time. I don't bite my tongue and then cry myself to sleep at night. I deal with the consequences. When it's time to draw the line in the sand, I draw that shit so clear and deep, everyone knows where the line is. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. You feel what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Are you willing to do that? That's dark times, because when you make stands like that and you're clear about it, you put your line in the sand, right? You speak up. Again, you're going to deal with backlash and resistance. It comes with the territory. Hey. It comes with the territory. Are you willing to do that? Because before, maybe you weren't doing that, but it gave you a level of life and experience and results. By you beginning to do these things, you're going to get a new level of life and dynamic and results. But you can't keep doing the same things, especially in this realm of facing the dark times and pulling the skeletons out of the closet, right? If you leave that stuff there, nothing's going to change. We reach continuously and we're marketed surface level solutions that never work, that act as a temporary band-aid. Go to the source. Stop attacking and dealing with the symptom of the problem and get to the root of the issue and the actual problem. And face it and do something about it. If you struggle socially, figure it out. Force yourself to socialize and get better. Don't cry about it. Don't blog about it. Don't complain about it. Do something about it. If you struggle financially, do what you need to do to get better. I used to have very twisted thoughts and ideas about money, even while I was making money. I remember having months early on where I was pulling in 20, 30K because I'd have sick months. And by the end of the month, I'm like, where the fuck did my money go? That's not a very good feeling. When you start making money and you're back at square one, it fucking sucks. It kills you. Because you feel like you did all that for nothing. But I fixed it. Read some books, went to the Millionaire Mindset Intensive, right? And I learned my lesson and I figured it out and I made the adjustment. That's why when people join my coaching, one of the first modules is financial mastery, because that lesson cost me tens of thousands of dollars. And I said, I didn't learn this from anybody else. Let me give it and pass the torch to somebody else. So when I say I want to help people, I actually fucking mean it. Okay? But that's it for this one, guys. I appreciate you being on. We have the social media workshop coming up and so many other things. Check the description. Have a good weekend. I may be on tomorrow or Sunday. I'm not sure yet, but I'll talk to you soon. All right? Peace.